Hello and welcome back to the Widow's Nest where new life begins. I'm Lisa Cleveland, your widowhood lifestyle coach, and I'm so excited that you have remained with me for season 1 from episode 1 to 7, and tonight is episode 8, which is our final episode for season 1. But have no fear, you can still find me at thewidowsnest.com or visit me on my YouTube channel at The Widow's Nest, or visit me every day on Facebook at The Widow's Nest. And we will continue to talk and walk our way through this journey called widowhood. So, let's talk about it. Hello and welcome back to the Widow's Nest. Welcome all the widows and widowers around the world. Thank you for joining me back here for season 1, episode 8, where we're going to be discussing a brighter future. This is our last episode for this season, but I want to thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for watching from season 1 to season 7 up to our last episode today of this season. But to have no fear, we will be back in July for season 2. Hopefully it's going to be even greater now that we know a little bit more about what we're doing, and I've gotten some more feedback from everyone about what works and what they would like to hear, what they would like to know more about. So I'm so excited to go into this next season. I have been stretched through even doing this, but I want to say a special thank you to Love Network for giving me this opportunity to share my heart and my passion. God has taken that pain that I had in my heart from the loss of my spouse and turned it into a passion and a purpose for me to be able to reach out to all the widows and the widowers around the world so that we can move forward in this next season. So thank you so much. I was able to share so much in this first season, and we started out with, I'm going to use my paper. We started out in episode 1 sharing about my story, my journey, and my purpose for beginning the Widow's Nest. And then we went on to episode 2, creating an atmosphere to grow. Episode 3, getting a grip on grief. Episode 4, accepting your loss. Episode 5, how to love yourself. And episode 6, counting the cost of your loss. And then last week we had episode 7, which was the healing heart. And then today, of course, is the brighter future. So I'm so excited that you have been here with me and you have been here talking and walking your way through this journey called widowhood, which we all know is not an easy road to walk. But having an outlet to talk and share with other people and hear other people's experiences lets you know that you are not alone, and that together we can make it through to the other side of this. So I'm so excited for all of you who have joined me, who will continue to join me. So don't go anywhere. We will have some specials right here on Love Studio between June and July until we come back on. To May and June until we come back on in July. But I'm just so excited to see where this is going to go, because like I shared with you, this was a new thing for me too. Getting through my pain of the losing my husband and being open and vulnerable to share about those things and to tell about the good, the ugly, and the bad, and the pain and the depression, and going through those 5 stages of grief, and how they don't all happen at the same time and in sequence, and they have no beginning and no ending. So we don't have a date to give you. You do these 5 steps and all of a sudden you're ready for the next part of your life. No, this is something that will probably remain with us, but how we deal with it will determine how we have a brighter future. And that's the goal. So I'm excited about what's to come in season 2. I'm excited about what God is going to do in me and what God is going to do in you and how we're going to do this. And one of the things that I would love to do moving forward is to walk in the real purpose behind me doing this. And that was, as I shared before, I've seen so many people after losing a spouse become so depressed and so hopeless and feel so helpless till I just felt compelled to just come on and share about life after death, after losing a spouse. So hopefully something that I've said or shared has helped you to see the positive things that can happen in your life as you move forward. If that's something that you want, there is still a lot of life inside you and there's still a lot for you to do. But sometimes having someone walking there beside you makes it a lot easier. It makes it the focus a little more clearer of what may be getting you stuck and what you may need to do to get unstuck so that you can live that beautiful life. So I'm excited to continue to share with you. And like I said, there will be other outlets for you to visit me on. I'm working on building my website. It's thewidowsnest.com. And it is up. I'm revamping it and putting some wonderful, exciting things on there for you. And one of the things that you will get from me, it's in the process of being done now. But keep watching, keep visiting the page because you're going to get a free seminar, a little workshop on what was I calling it, the 5 stages of grief, and it's a 5-part series, and I'm going to be offering it to you on my page as you subscribe, where we'll talk about the 5 steps, which are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And we'll have different stories and different ways to identify each stage and different ways to get through each stage. So it's awesome. It's going to be awesome. It's just going to be awesome. You have to go on and download. That'll be my gift to you for subscribing and being a part of the Widow's Nest. So I'm excited to do that. And I'm so excited about what else is coming in the future because now that the pandemic is pretty much, we're getting a grip on it, or we're learning how to manage life through it, should I say. Maybe you're vaccinated, hopefully you are, or at least you're following protocols with the mask, and we're able to assemble a little better now. And though I love talking on the show, I'm a people person. I cannot wait to be in your presence and just talk and share and bring my special guests. So many great things that's happening, and I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm excited to be available to you guys to offer that support and that hand, as we get through this next season in our lives, because it's very important that we do, because grief has a way of stagnating us and putting us in that pause and making us fear that we have nothing else to live for. And that's just not so. The enemy would love for you to just get stuck, but you have purpose. You were created on purpose for a purpose, and you still need to identify that. And I know I talk about that a lot because it's so important to me that you know who you are and that you are making decisions based on truth, okay, based on facts. And the fact of the matter is you're still here, and there's still so much for you to do. So I'm excited to go into the future, this brighter future with you, and continue to share with you on a daily basis, offering you advice and also you sharing advice for me, because we're doing this together. Like I say all the time, we're talking, walking our way through, so there are things that you experience that I can benefit from, and there's things that I experience that you can benefit from. So let's do an exchange here. Let's share and help each other. So if you could go to Facebook and like my Widow's Nest page, I'm going to be doing lives on there where we'll get to talk and share, and I have a friend that's showing me how to do more of the interacting things so that you'll be able to speak right then and there, and I'll be able to hear your comments and give you my input on it, as well as some of the other people who may be on a platform who can help you as well. So we're excited to be able to offer that. But even to go even a little better in this brighter future, we're going to be having meetups where we'll be able to really talk and hug and love on each other. And I know a lot of people never really got the closure that they needed. Those who have lost loved ones within the last 2.5 years. Maybe you weren't able to have your funerals. Maybe you didn't get the closure that you needed. Maybe you weren't able to be with family and friends the way you would have liked to have been with family and friends. And we want to have a special service, just a celebration of life for the love that we were blessed to be able to experience, and to honor that past, honor that person who made such a wonderful impact in our lives. The father of our children, the mother of our children, or that love, that spouse that was just your best friend, your partner, that made such a big difference in your life and showed you what life was really about, and hung in there and did the to death do you part with you. All right, so we're going to be having special recognition, special services, and giving you a chance to just shine a light on the person that shined a light on you, and just remember them in an honorable and respectable way. So we're looking forward to even having those celebration of life get-togethers, conferences, meetings, whatever you want to call them. We're going to do it. We're just going to do it. And even doing little weekend retreats where we can have workshops and we can go back and forth, because moving forward is very important. We're living in some very trying times right now. It's very difficult. And no matter where you join this journey at as a widow, a widow can be from 18 up to however old you are. It could go from 18 to 81, okay? Because that's the age you're allowed to get married at. So widows come in all different ages. So we don't want to slight anyone and say this is just for this age or just for that age. We all are trying to make it through. Our journeys may be different. Our desires may be different based on the age that we became widows. Like a young person, they may be looking at getting married again. They may still want to have children. They may have children and want to have a father figure or a mother figure in their life. And they're trying to figure out this journey of, how do I get back started after being, stopped in the middle of my cycle here. I was just beginning motherhood or just beginning to become a wife, and now I have this fear of, how does my future look? How am I going to be able to still continue with the dreams that me and my spouse had prior to their death? And now I'm stuck trying to come up with a whole nother plan for how I'm going to do this. And have no fear. We will have people to help you with that, whether it's mental, physical, spiritual, financial, educational, psychological. All of these things play a part, because we want to become whole. We want to know that we are not wasting this precious, precious, precious time that we have here on this earth, that we are educating ourselves and preparing ourselves to be the best version of ourselves that we could possibly be. And we want to have a healthy outlook on life as well as on death, because there's so many benefits that have come out of death just as well as out of life. Okay, so many lives have been changed for the better because of death of a loved one, as it has been because of the birth of a new loved one. So we want to have a healthy heart and a healthy perspective on this thing called life, so that we're not always derailed and caught off track by everything that happens in our lives. Learning how to flow is going to be so good for us. Okay, I say us because I'm in here with you, and I had to learn how to flow. And coming out of a beautiful marriage for 17 years with my husband, to have to go back out here as a individual again has not been an easy journey. It has not been fun. I've had my heart broken. I've had some things that's been pleasantly happy and exciting. I've had the roller coaster that most people have just trying to get through life. We all have a roller coaster. But some of the things that really got me about those who have watched these episodes, these last 7 episodes of the show, was they weren't always widows. We had men and women that were either going through a divorce, or maybe they went through loss, but they weren't married, but they lost someone that they truly loved, and that was truly impactful in their life and played a big part in their daily lives. And the tips that we offered through the show helped them to get stronger and to begin to reevaluate. So this show, though I gear it towards widows and widowers, has also blessed other people as well, because we all have experienced some type of loss. Okay, some people's loss is just reinventing themselves, losing a job, or having to switch careers, and who am I now that I'm not this person, and I'm not being seen as that person, and I don't make the money that I made at this job, and now I'm having to take a job making less money, and I identified myself so much as this person, and now I've lost that security blanket that I had as that person, and how do I embrace this new season in my life? So a lot of the things that we share here is not just only for widows and widowers, but it can bless anybody who is ready to live their life to the fullest, that are ready to live their best life. Okay, we heard that song, I'm living my best life. All right, well, we want to live our best life. We want to shine bright like a diamond. Okay, and we know that our light has been dimmed because of the depression and the pain and the sadness of loss. We feel those lonely moments, and we wonder sometimes if my light is ever going to shine again. Am I ever going to feel like myself again? Am I ever going to be secure the way that I was before? And that all is up to you. And we're going to talk about those things when we go into season 2, how we determine what our future is going to be by what we believe about ourselves and what we are willing to do to put the effort and the time into becoming that person that we see in our minds. We have a vision of how we would like to see our lives, but it don't always match up with what we see as reality, or we don't want to do the necessary work that it's going to take to make those things a reality. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to get all of those hindrances out the way, and we're going to deal with ourselves mentally, spiritually, and physically. We're going to be healthier people, happier people, because it's not an easy task, not even for nobody. Let's just deal with it right now. We're living in a time where there's rumors and rumors of wars, where there's famine all over the place, where there's people murdering people for no reason. It's a difficult time, and there's so much to be depressed about. I mean, if you sit and listen to that news all day, and you know, you'll become very depressed to where you don't even want to go outside. You're like the pandemic happened forever, because I don't even know if I want to go back out there. Okay, but we can't become hermits. We can't just sit back and not embrace this opportunity to do something great for yourself, so that you can be guaranteed to have a brighter tomorrow, a brighter future. And I just believe God. I believe God that none of this is happening by chance. And even with the death and the loss, and my life being turned upside down, or however you want to say it, that God knew that was going to happen too. And he still had a purpose and a plan for me, and that it has not been aborted. He has not changed his mind concerning me. You know, it's taken on a new light. Like, I didn't know that part of my passion and purpose was going to be included talking about widowhood, or being, you know, in the front of widows and widowers. You know, I've always spoke, and I had my own business, My Lisa Inc., which is an acronym for My Life is So Amazing Incorporated. And I did a lot of women empowerment conferences and talking to women around the world, and holding women's retreats and women conferences. And I did the Wonder Working Women's Conference with 4 different churches in the tri-state area, and we got together, and I was happy doing all of that, but I had no idea during that time that my husband would get sick and die from stage 4 kidney cancer, and it would change my whole life. I mean, me and my husband did marriage retreats. We were invited to speak at different marriage retreats. We loved ministering. We pastored a church for several years, and we had a big life. We did a lot of things to help and support people. He taught a lot of manhood conferences. He was very good at building men, and it was a needed topic, with men being keepers of the garden, and just manhood, and how to lead your households, which makes it a little difficult for me because I'm so used to having a strong man that understands manhood. So, a lot of those principles that he taught are principles that I use even when I think about, the future and having that brighter future. Is there a possibility for marriage for me again in the future, or am I just going to be this widow lady going around helping people and just going home and sitting there alone? But one thing I will say, even if that's the case, I have no regrets of my life, and I've lived a beautiful life, and I'm happy with Lisa. I'm happy with the woman that I have become, the woman that I am becoming, and I'm excited and open to whatever God has for me in this season. I'm not anxious. I'm not overexcited. I'm not chasing after anything. I am just letting it flow, just letting it happen, just putting it out in the atmosphere and seeing how it comes back. And that's what I wish for you. I wish for whatever decision you make in your life, that it's a decision that you're comfortable with, that you're happy with, that you don't sit and waddle in, but you rejoice in and you get excited because you're making decisions based on your own terms and where you're at right now and what works for you. Because that's the important thing. It doesn't have to work for anybody else. It has to work for you. And this is why in a lot of the sessions that I've shared through 1 through 7, I've talked about knowing who you are, creating an atmosphere for you to grow in, and turning that fear into fuel, and accepting loss, and honoring the past, and journaling, and emptying yourself out so that you can have room to pour yourself back in, have new memories and new opportunities and new exciting things to add to your life, because you're still alive and there's still so much for you to see. Everything that I've seen is not all that there is to see. Everything that I've done is not all that there is to do. And everything that I know is not all that there is to know. There's so much more. This world is so bigger than we give it credit for. We put ourselves in these boxes. We get stuck in these certain ideals and patterns that it has to be this way and it has to be that way. But it really doesn't. But if we don't adventure out and allow ourselves to think outside the box, we will always feel defeated, left behind, forgotten, and you are not none of those things, okay? So if you will go with me on this journey, together we'll come out on the other side, better people, excited, and we'll be able to understand loss. We'll be able to understand life, and we'll be able to leave a good legacy behind to those that are watching, because there are people watching. They watch how you go through, and that's how they determine how they're going to go through. If they see that when you lose someone, you just fall apart and jump in the casket with them, they'll be falling apart and jumping in the casket with someone too. And like I shared in previous shows, one of my things was to show my children that you can still move on, because I would hate for them to feel like if they lost a spouse or they lost their mother, that they can't go on. I want them to know, though we love their father and I love my husband, that we all have a part that we play. I'm thankful that I was chosen, that he chose me to be his life partner, and he chose me to be that woman to learn and grow with. And I'm taking a lot of the things, the lessons that I learned in that marriage, the beautiful things that I learned in that marriage, and even some of the things that weren't so beautiful, that were heartbreaking. I've learned so much from it. I take it all. God has used it all. He's turned it all around for my good, the good and the bad, you know. And I look at all of it and I write it all down. And I don't make him to be a God. He was a human being. He was a great person. He did the best he could. He had faults and failures just like I had faults and failures. But together we completed one another. We trusted one another. And we worked together to build the family and the life and the ministry that we were able to enjoy. And that's a part of my life I will never regret nor forget. And I'm not asking you to do that, because all of that means so much. It can propel you into the next season of your life. It can be the foundation in which you continue to grow and you continue to learn. And we have to take those things and look at it for what it was and for what it is. And we have to keep the good, get rid of the bad, learn from the bad. Don't just throw it out, because you might just repeat that same thing again. But learn, take it all, learn from it all. And continue to expand your life. Continue to move forward, because there is a bright future out there for us all. Despite what the enemy might say, despite what the government is saying, and even your neighbors and maybe some of your friends, okay? If you put your trust in the right place and you do the work that causes things to come into your life and opportunities to come to you, and you just decide, I'm going to do my part. I'm not here to change everything or everybody, but I do have a part that I play, and I'm going to play my part to the fullest. I'm going to get that Oscar and that Grammy, because I'm going to show up in my life and I'm going to show out, and I'm not going to let nothing get in the way of me dying empty. I don't want to die with all of these visions, dreams, and hopes inside me. I want to be able to empty myself out, pour myself out, and leave a legacy where people say, wow. When they read your eulogy and they read your bio, say, wow, that was one brave girl right there. She did a lot. Look at all of this. I didn't even know this woman had did all of this. I didn't even know this guy had it in him. I didn't know this guy did that. You know, so there's some great things that we need to use this life for, and we need to know our purpose and our assignment. What are we assigned to? Who are we assigned to? And we need to get excited about that we're even chosen to be in those positions and in those places, and be about a good work. You know, begin to look at ways that you can take what the devil swore for your hurt and turn it around for your good. Okay, we have to begin to say, okay, that happened, but what lesson can I learn out of that I can share with someone else, so that when they find themselves in this position, they don't get stuck and they don't feel defeated. Okay, so that's my purpose, that's my passion, is to help you not feel defeated, to help you know. And I shared before, you know, my purpose statement, and that is, I am that surrendered light created by God to bring hope for the future and deliverance from anything that will keep you from it. I will fight with you and for you, so that you can be victorious. So continue to watch, continue to pray for me as I come up with different ways to help heal the world, you know, heal this land of brokenhearted people who have suffered so much loss. And there's still so many people suffering loss. When we look at Ukraine and the amounts of people who are being murdered and killed in the streets, and had no idea that this was even going to take place. You're living in this city. I mean, we're blessed to be here in America, but who's to say when that time will even come to us? If we can't go outside, our homes are being bombed, our streets are being destroyed. We just don't know what's ahead. But one thing I do know is that there is a future for us, and we need to be prepared for it, and we need to enjoy this moment, because tomorrow is not promised to none of us. But if tomorrow comes, Are you going to be ready for it? Are you storing up things? Are you ready? Okay? Because life is precious and we want to live every moment. We want to give ourselves, our children, our grandchildren, if you have grandchildren, an opportunity to succeed. And we want to show them our strength. We want to be of course, relatable. We want to be real about it. It's okay for them to see us cry, to see us sad, because that's a part of life. We have all kinds of seasons. The Bible says a time for everything. And there's a time to cry. There's a time to mourn. There's a time to laugh. There's a time to dance. It's a time to plant. There's a time to pluck up. We've read those passages and we know that there's a time for everything, every season under the sun. We know that. But there is also a time where you say to yourself, it's my time. It's time for me to show up in my life. So is it your time today? Is it your time to begin to work on you and make sure that you are showing up in your life and that you are truly living to the best of your ability? Now, I'm not talking about getting rich. I'm not here preaching on those topics about getting rich, because money, as we know, is not going to make you happy. So we're not talking about building businesses and being rich. I mean, all of that's a part of it. If that's what you want to do, if that's a part of your purpose and your assignment, then all means do it. But I'm talking about the everyday things that keep you happy, that keep you from feeling defeated, that you learn how to let stuff roll off of you because you're happy with yourself. You're okay, whether Mr. Right or Mrs. Right show up or not. I'm still going to go out to dinner. I'm still going to travel. I'm still going to do the things that I enjoy doing because I enjoy my company. I enjoy my life. I worked hard to be able to do these things. I'm going to do these things. I'm taking care of myself. My health is good. I'm doing my doctor's visits. I'm feeling good. I'm mentally educating myself in the areas I don't know things. I'm taking the time to learn those things because I want to be ready when those opportunities come knocking. I don't want to have an excuse for failure. I want to have the skills for success. All right? So if you're with me, join me in season 2 and let's move forward on this journey called widowhood. Let's put things in perspective and let's begin to get excited that we have an opportunity to redo some things, to build some things, to just become the better versions of ourselves. Even after loss, we can still grow and become the better versions of ourselves. So I'm excited about season 2 and what I'm going to be able to do with that, how I'm going to be able to connect more. I'm learning more. I'm educating myself in technology and the different ways of social media and how to link up on all different types of things. And it's a very exciting world. I tell you, I grew up in a time where all of this technology wasn't available. So I'm still learning. I'm like, you can do that. You can have this. You can do that. So I'm so excited about the lives. And I've been working with another mentor and friend of mine who's showing me how to have you guys come on and we can interface and we can have our lives and talk and I can answer you at the same time. Because like I said, though I like this sitting here, I want to feel the energy of the people. I want to hear what you guys are saying. I want to see your faces. I want to hug on you. So I'm looking forward to the meetings, to the meetups and the conferences and the coming together and just us, like I said, talking and walking our way through this journey called widowhood. You are not alone. Help is here. Help is available to you. And you can, like I said, always visit me at thewidowsnest.com and inbox me, email me and let me know, your thoughts and your ideals, areas that you really want to share. Maybe you want to share something or maybe you need more help with something. Well, let me know. Just let me know. Same thing with going to the Widow's Nest on Facebook and like that page and share. I'm going to be doing more interacting on there. Right now we're revamping even that page to put more things on there that might be more helpful to you, that might offer more insight into grief and more insight into that brighter future that we're hoping for and planning for. So make sure you go on and like that page so that I'll know who you are and you'll know who I am, and you can stay up to date as to what's going on in the widow's nest, because it's the best in the widow's nest. So I'm so excited about everything that I'm doing. I'm being stretched, and I'm loving it because I'm doing something that I enjoy doing, and that is helping others. Yes, that's helping you, and it's helping me to fulfill my purpose, and feel alive again. You know, like I said, who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk that this would be an avenue for me to be a blessing to others? And you never know about loss until you experience it. I thought I was helping people before, and I'm sure I was. But this loss has taken on a whole new meaning for me, because I've lost something that was very valuable to me, that I depended on and always thought would be there for me. And being forced into a position to have to start all over again and rethink my life has really reshaped me, and it has strengthened me. It has made me stronger as a person, because so many things I didn't know about myself that I'm finding out about myself that I'm thinking is very cool and very interesting. So continue to join me. Like I said, follow me on all the different outlets, and I'll be back here in the Love Studios in July to share season 2. And like I said, I'll probably have a couple of specials going on in between that time. So make sure you stay here, enjoy some of these great movies that they have on this station. And for those of you who are meeting me outside of the Love Studios on YouTube or on my page, make sure you go on and download that on your Fire Stick, the Love Studios, because they got awesome movies on there as well. It's not just me talking the whole time. There's also other great shows and other great movies on there as well. So thank you again for being an audience of love, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to do something that I really enjoy doing. So I look forward to seeing you real soon, whether it's on Facebook or in the Widow's Nest or back here in July. Thank you for your time. Stay strong, and remember, you have purpose, and your best is yet to come. So I love you, and bye-bye.